The drama surrounding Cleveland's quarterback room has finally reached its boiling point. After weeks of defiance, tension, and open speculation, Kevin Stefanski stood before reporters on Thursday afternoon and did what many thought he would never do. With a carefully scripted statement, posture stiff but voice steady, the Browns head coach announced that Shedeur Sanders would be the team's starting quarterback for Saturday's preseason clash against the Los Angeles Rams. It was a moment that reverberated far beyond a simple depth chart reshuffle. This wasn't just football strategy. It was politics, survival, and spectacle colliding all at once. For weeks, pressure had been mounting against Stefanski. Fans had grown restless after a disastrous showing in Philadelphia. Ownership had grown impatient with stagnation, and corporate partners began whispering about their dissatisfaction. Season ticket holders threatened boycotts. Social media was ablaze with revolt, and Cleveland, a city all too familiar with quarterback heartbreak, demanded change. By the time Stefanski walked into that press conference, the decision was already bigger than him. He was no longer choosing between quarterbacks. He was yielding to an organizational upheaval driven by fan anger, owner pressure, and cultural momentum. His words, deliberately chosen, phrased with surgical precision, betrayed what everyone in the room could see. This was less about excitement and more about resignation. After exhaustive evaluation throughout training camp and preseason, we've determined Sanders gives us the greatest chance to move forward, he declared. Veterans exchanged knowing glances, coaches stared forward in silence, and every insider present understood the true weight of those words. The Browns weren't just starting a rookie quarterback. They were redefining the power structure of their entire franchise. Almost immediately, ripple effects spread throughout the organization. Defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz began redrawing schemes to account for Sanders' tempo and play style. Offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt worked late into the night, sketching out packages to maximize his mobility and arm strength. This wasn't a last-minute gamble. It was a response to a tidal wave of external pressure that had finally broken through the dam. By Wednesday night, when owner Jimmy Haslam delivered a 3-hour ultimatum to Stefanski, the decision was no longer a choice. It was survival. Start Sanders or face consequences. And so Saturday's preseason contest, once destined to be a forgettable August tune-up, has been transformed into a cultural flashpoint. Ratings projections already exceed typical regular season games. Broadcast networks are scrambling to amplify coverage. Former players are clearing their schedules to provide analysis. What should have been a meaningless exhibition has now become a national spectacle. Every pass, every read, every mistake will be dissected under a playoff-like microscope. Inside the locker room, the energy has shifted dramatically. Sanders's supporters feel vindicated, their optimism swelling into open confidence. Offensive linemen have sworn to give him their best protection under the brighter spotlight. Receivers buzz with anticipation at his arm strength and improvisational style. Even defensive veterans hardened by years of disappointment admit that his presence injects new life into the roster. One safety put it plainly. Finally, we're moving forward instead of sideways. But the rise of one quarterback inevitably means the fall of others. Joe Flacco, once the respected veteran insurance policy, now finds himself in the awkward position of mentor and backup. He congratulated Sanders publicly, but behind the scenes, his role has been diminished to clipboard duty. His agent is already exploring potential exits, though Flacco himself continues to carry himself with professionalism, a veteran who understands the cruel reality of the NFL. Dillon Gabriel, on the other hand, has taken the decision far worse. Sources described Thursday's practice as tense, even hostile. Gabriel arrived late, sulked through drills, and clashed with his position coach. From his perspective, years of college production and technical polish have been disregarded in favor of name recognition and marketing power. Whispers circulate that Sanders' rise was always predetermined. Merit be damned. Yet numbers don't lie. Sanders' preseason efficiency, nearly 68% completions, a touchdown-to-interception ratio beyond expectations, and a quarterback rating that surpassed the veterans, justified the decision. Beyond the stats, his energy on the field has been transformative. Wideouts fight for separation with more urgency. Linemen block with renewed conviction. Running backs benefit from the defensive chaos his mobility creates. His presence alone forces defenses to hesitate, and hesitation is deadly in football. Still, With great hope comes suffocating pressure. Sanders is not simply being handed the job of quarterback. He is being branded the franchise savior. Every incompletion will ignite criticism. Every sack will draw headlines. Every mistake will feed into decades of Cleveland's haunted quarterback history. But Sanders, raised under the relentless glare of attention as the son of Dillon Sanders, is no stranger to pressure. He thrives in it. Where others shrink, he sharpens. The organizational implications are massive. Stefanski's press conference. Posture said it all. This was not his preference. Ownership's fingerprints are all over this decision. For years, the NFL has wrestled with the balance of power between owners and football operations. Coaches argue that football autonomy must remain untouched. Owners, wielding financial leverage, insist their vision dictates the franchise. Cleveland has now become the latest battlefield in this eternal struggle, setting a precedent that will ripple across the league. Agents, executives, scouts, all will point to the Browns' decision as evidence that public pressure and ownership power can supersede traditional football evaluation. And yet, while the debates rage, the economic reality is undeniable. The Sanders effect has already reshaped Cleveland. Ticket markets have exploded, with preseason seats now fetching regular season premiums. Concessions are projected to double revenue. Merchandise orders have overwhelmed warehouses. Hotels, bars, and restaurants in the city are bracing for playoff-level crowds. National media outlets, from ESPN to NFL Network, are deploying resources, normally reserved for postseason battles. The announcement has ignited not just a football conversation, but a cultural event. For the first time in decades, Cleveland fans have something rare: hope. Not cautious optimism or lukewarm encouragement, but genuine belief. Social media chatter brims with excitement instead of sarcasm. Sports radio, once filled with angry tirades, now hums with playoff projections. Families, long jaded by failure, are talking about the future with pride instead of resignation. It is perhaps the greatest gift Sanders has given Cleveland, before even taking a meaningful snap: belief. But the other side of belief is fragility. If Sanders struggles, the backlash will be merciless. The same fans who crowned him savior will turn quickly. The same media that built him into a phenomenon will dissect his flaws. The same ownership that forced Stefanski's hand may shift blame to the coach if things unravel. The burden Sanders carries is immense, but so too is the opportunity. Should he succeed, he will not simply be Cleveland's quarterback, he will be its redeemer. Saturday's game against the Rams will be unlike any preseason game in NFL history. It will be swarmed by national cameras, hyped beyond reason, and picked apart in real time by analysts, fans, and former players alike. The Rams, knowing the stakes, are preparing exotic defensive looks designed to rattle him early. Their intent is clear: embarrass Cleveland's chosen one and deflate the mania. Yet the Browns are rallying. Veterans like Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy have offered to play extended snaps to give Sanders reliable targets. David Njoku has emphasized his support as a safety valve. Even Deshaun Watson, sidelined by injury, sits in meetings to mentor Sanders on NFL nuance. This is no ordinary debut. It is a franchise reborn. Cleveland has been here before, hoping, believing, looking for a quarterback to finally break the curse. But this time feels different. This time, it isn't just about football. It's about identity, community, and resurrection. The Browns are no longer just preparing for a preseason game. They are staging a spectacle, a statement to the NFL that their time has finally arrived. The question remains: can Shedeur Sanders deliver on the storm of expectation? Can he justify the risk ownership has taken, the faith fans have invested, and the sacrifices teammates have made? Or will this moment, like so many before in Cleveland, collapse under the crushing weight of hope? Either way, Saturday will be remembered. Not as a preseason game, but as the beginning of something much larger. A test of resilience, a test of belief, and perhaps the dawn of a new era. Now I'll leave it to you. Do you think Shedeur Sanders is ready to be the face of a franchise starved for redemption? Will this bold gamble pay off, or has Cleveland set itself up for another heartbreak? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to follow this unfolding drama every step of the way, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this story is only just beginning.